So what you're saying, the woman has been conditioned by different type of conditions opposed or applied towards her existence.
Sure.
So can you give me a couple of examples of like what are the conditions that a woman, the female, has to go through her life from birth to, doesn't matter. It can be like as she is born she has to behave like this, or she has to have a menstruation. When she has menstruation she has to, you know, maintain it or cut it short if she has to have a pleasure of making love freely, or asking a permission to whoever, father, mother, cousin, you know, a priest, to start making love or start really enjoying life. So how, maybe give me a couple examples of the conditioning that was applied towards the woman.
I think from a very young age, you always would have either an older brother or, in case, a brother in the family, and that would follow in the father's footsteps, so to speak. So the choice is never given to a woman. So taking it through from a very young age, girls were conditioned in their families, especially in the East and not the West as much, that they need to serve their men, you know, becoming the servant for men. And from a very young age, having to put up with situations where they've got to clean their home and they need to cook, they need to always being in a situation where they haven't got an opportunity to grow. And I think men really realized that 6,000 and many more thousands of years ago, once a woman is in a powerful position, it's very difficult to conquer her, because she really inherently knows best what to follow. But even that power was abused in the past, and we find that when a feminine is out of control, her feminine power is out of control, it can cause a lot of harm to everybody. But I just feel that, yes, the girls were told, you know, either by their parents or peer groups or teachers or leaders, that they should be either a nurse, a teacher, or a typist in the past. And as I say, and the opportunities weren't really given to them to expand and to become what they really wanted to be, maybe more creative in their world and being educated, because educated women can bring a lot of change
I would even change
world.
it, not in the sense of education, but in the sense of spirituality and, let's say, freedom education, or how they become less frightened. That's okay. How they become less frightened not to engage into achieving their own freedom.
Yeah, I think again, you've got to make the separate between East and West, because in the East there's still a lot of women being suppressed and not having the opportunities. So it's difficult to break out of that shell for them. To them it seems to be an impossible task.
So we're talking about the paradigm shift to bring the feminine on the levels where they really belong.
Sure. But then through that you will have to give them that freedom, and part of that is to break down all these rules and regulations and conditions.
But who's going to break them?
Well, only the women, because they are the ones in that situation. You know, men are really, I would say, free in that aspect. You know, they can choose whatever career they want to be. They are normally, in most cases, educated. They've got that choice. You know, I even know in Pakistan that women haven't got a choice. The girls just are not allowed to go to school. And
still, let's say, in the 21st century.
I would say, yeah, in the 21st century. It's not in all towns, but I know about that, and it is totally an unrealistic situation, even to believe in today's times that can still take place.
Well, what you share with me in Laos, there are men who can have 5 women.
If they follow the Islamic belief.
Let's say,
okay.
if they are Islam. why we cannot apply the same rule for the women? Why one woman cannot have 5 men? Like, is there any chance that some of these women will be able to say, I want to be just equal, not better, not bigger, not taller, but equal?
Yes, it can only come from the women, because only they can free themselves by, in a way, rebellion against it. Not in a negative way by doing riots and all that, but they are the instruments of change. They can, because they are the ones that are suppressing suffering.
Sure.
So nobody else can really do it for them. It needs to take a woman to change the women's world out there. And
to me, I would change it. It takes women to change complete humanity. Humanity, including man and the woman.
Sure.
Because man will be quiet and still oppressive and very ignorant too, because they will say, no, you cannot do this.
Because the woman accepts it. She allows it. When they stop allowing that, then things will change. You've got to start see your self-worth, and by changing it, by not accepting the way that you have been treated, is in a way where you will see change taking place. And that's the only way forward, to have that kind of freedom. And if it means you need to leave your community or your country or your neighborhood or even your family for that matter to experience that kind of freedom, then you've got to do it. So again, don't be trapped in a situation because you were raised and told by your grandmother or your parents that you've got to stay, this is how it is, and just take it for granted and accept it. There are many ways that you can get out of the system. You need to just make that move and say that I'm worth far more than what they make me out to believe. And that way you can get your freedom, and then you can experience really true love. Because you will respect yourself more. You love yourself more by doing that. And only once you love yourself, you'll be able to love others. And then that is not a fear-based love.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good. That's it. Thanks.
Okay.
Have you got anything else as a closing sentence?
So Denise will tell us, actually, in full-blown disclosure, what does it mean being free? Maybe not on this video, but in future videos will come a very close encounter with a free woman. She is one of them. Being in love without any condition is the only place to be. Because if you, let's call it love, I'm putting quotes, something or somebody, or you love your children, but you still want to keep a total control of them, you're the one who putting conditions on everything, even on the love. So conditional love is nothing else but fear-based love. When we ask what is the alternative of the fear-based love, is unconditional approach. Not only to love, but to everything. Is it truth conditional? Real truth has no conditions whatsoever. It goes out and it smack you in the face, and you just can watch it and hear it and deep breath and say, okay, I've been programmed for a couple of thousand years. No more. Don't want to live like this. So this is a true deep message for feminine, for females of this world. Do you see yourself free at a particular moment? Do you see yourself that you can love unconditionally whoever you choose, including yourself, and especially yourself? Can you choose to be less judgmental towards others? Can you be less judgmental towards yourself? How you look, how you dressed, who you marry, would you marry, how's your children, what are their scores in the school. Consider that these are all the programs that keep you in heavy conditioning. If you read some of my old writings, conditioner for your hair is the worst possible poison for your mind. Mind will never be free as you continue to conditioning it with absolutely stupid and ridiculously funny, stupid approaches. Observe these conditioning and you can just get out of them in a matter of a second. Realize that you don't need a better place to live. You don't need a better partner because obviously you don't deserve one. You think that you are not deserving enough to have anybody that you see on the magazines or on TV because you think you're not worthy. And not being worthy is nothing else but another condition. It's another outside influence. So when we go with this title, seeing fear-based love, love word is in the quotes because this is not love. It's complete oxymoron. Fear and love doesn't come together. True love has no